Today we're going to be talking about one of the most mysterious and fascinating places on Earth, the Vatican Secret Archives. This highly secure repository located deep within the Vatican contains some of the Church's most closely guarded documents and artifacts dating back centuries. Access is extremely limited, with only the Pope and a few cardinals allowed inside. Rumors have swirled for years about all of the priceless treasures and dark secrets that must be hidden in there. Well, in today's video, I'm going to reveal everything we know and everything we can reasonably speculate about the contents of this legendary archive. From ancient grimoires of magic to evidence of extraterrestrial contact, you won't believe what the Vatican has been keeping under wraps all these years. So strap in and get ready, because this is going to be epic. Section 1. History and Overview of the Archives. Let's start with some basic history and facts about this infamously elusive institution. Officially known as the Archivum Secretum Vaticanum, the Vatican's secret archives are located within the Vatican itself, most likely deep beneath the Apostolic Palace. The archives date back to around 1612 under Pope Paul V. However, the Church had already been amassing important documents for centuries before then. The word secret should not be taken literally, as it actually means personal or private in this context. Still, for hundreds of years the contents of the archives were largely inaccessible to the public. It was not until 1881 that any scholars were allowed inside to view certain manuscripts. And even today, the archives remain closed to outsiders. Only qualified Vatican researchers and officials can gain entry through the sole entrance, which is outfitted with an electronic keypad and an air-conditioned vault door. Inside is said to be over 53 miles of shelving holding who knows how many countless artifacts, documents, and secrets. Let's take a look at what might be hiding down there. Section 2. Rumored contents, the controversial and forbidden. Naturally, anything kept so securely hidden by the Church for hundreds of years is bound to give rise to spectacular rumors about what might be inside. Here are some of the most popular theories about the Vatican Secret Archives' closely guarded contents. Lost Gospels and Forbidden Texts. Many believe that buried deep within the archives are lost Gospels that were not included in the authorized New Testament, as well as other controversial ancient religious texts like the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. These writings could potentially contradict major church doctrine and teachings, which is why they may have been suppressed. Dark knowledge and esoteric secrets. The Vatican is rumored to be in possession of ancient books of alchemy, magic, and other occult knowledge dating back to the Middle Ages or earlier. Danish author Gustav Wiedemann claimed to have stumbled across secret instructions for conjuring spirits and casting spells in the archives. If true, this raises serious questions about the Church's stance on witchcraft and the supernatural. Evidence of alien contact. Some people believe the Vatican has evidence of ancient extraterrestrial visitations to Earth that it keeps hidden because it would undermine their authority. In particular, the ancient Martianus Graecus manuscript is said to potentially contain ciphered messages from aliens themselves. This theory ties into the idea that religious figures like Jesus were actually otherworldly beings. Proof of time travel. At least one researcher has theorized that the archives contain schematics and reports from 19th-century scientists working on time travel experiments commissioned in secret by the Vatican. If true, it means the Church could already have technology to alter the past and future at their disposal. Documentation of miracles. The Church closely documents apparent supernatural miracles, especially those associated with saints and holy relics. It's very possible they keep records of miracles deemed threatening or inconclusive hidden away. This evidence could potentially expose uncanonized visionaries and miracle workers who were shut out for political reasons. Scandalous clergy records. Records of scandalous behavior and abuses of power on the part of popes, bishops, and other clergy are most likely squirreled away in the Vatican's private archive. Incriminating documents related to the Inquisition, the Crusades, and the Holocaust have been found in the public archives. Even more shocking evidence is likely kept under lock and key. Prohibited art and literature. Some of humanity's greatest art, literature, and philosophy housed in the Vatican is technically forbidden or restricted for being contrary to Church orthodoxy. The archives likely contain many rare or dangerous works that they don't want the public to access. As you can see, conspiracy theories abound about the almost unimaginable artifacts and knowledge that could be gathering dust down there in the Vatican Secret Archives. But most of these claims are entirely speculative and impossible to verify unless more documents are released. What else might they have locked away? We can only guess at this point. Section 3. Verified contents of the archives. While we can endlessly speculate about the more scandalous contents of the Vatican Secret Archives, there are plenty of verified documents and artifacts housed there that scholars find remarkable. Here's an overview of some of the known materials kept in the secret archives. Records of papal administration. Some of the most historically significant documents in the archives detail the administration of the Roman Catholic Church dating back hundreds of years. Records include papal correspondence, diaries, financial accounts, and consistory proceedings documenting major decisions and elections. These provide invaluable insight into how popes and cardinals shaped church doctrine and managed the institution. Vatican State Papers. As the governing center of the Vatican State, the archives contain many important legal, political, and diplomatic records related to this sovereign nation within Rome. Treaties, correspondences with heads of state, internal memos, and financial accounts help reconstruct centuries of Vatican history. Letters of iconic historical figures. The Vatican has correspondence to and from many of history's most influential people, including Michelangelo, Galileo, Mozart, Voltaire, Erasmus, Charlemagne, Queen Elizabeth I, and Abraham Lincoln. These letters shed light on power struggles, philosophical debates, and political machinations. Papal account books. Detailed financial account books and registers maintained by the Church are preserved that note everything from construction costs for St. Peter's Basilica to payments to Michelangelo for his artworks. These reflect spending priorities and demonstrate the Vatican's wealth and economic influence. Henry VIII divorce records. The archives contain volumes of records documenting Henry VIII's controversial divorce from Catherine of Aragon and the Church's refusal to annul the marriage, leading to Henry breaking from Rome. This includes transcripts of trials, interviews, testimony, and the verdict upholding the marriage's validity. Trial transcripts of Galileo and Giordano Bruno. Documents from the Roman Inquisition trial that condemned Galileo for his support of heliocentrism are preserved, along with his books and scientific manuscripts. The trial records of philosopher Giordano Bruno, who was burned at the stake for heresy, also survive. Witch trial records. Disturbingly detailed trial records of women and men from across Europe executed for witchcraft include transcripts of interrogations where people were coerced into confessing to impossible acts like flying on broomsticks or casting evil spells. Documentation of Protestant Reformation. The Church has records of Protestant reformers like Martin Luther and John Calvin that aim to provide theological justification should Catholic authorities decide to prosecute them for heresy. Some records even trace Lutheran books being smuggled illegally into Catholic lands. Magnificent illuminated manuscripts. From brilliantly illustrated biblical scenes to Renaissance songbooks, the archives contain thousands of invaluable illuminated manuscripts from the Middle Ages and beyond, many created by the world's greatest artists. These serve as windows into medieval and early modern art. Ancient manuscripts and incunabula. As one of the world's great medieval institutions, the Vatican holds an unmatched collection of ancient and rare texts, including Cicero manuscripts dating to the 4th century AD. They also have over 8,000 incunabula, books printed before 1501, like a Gutenberg Bible printed on vellum. Muslim, Chinese, and Aztec manuscripts. Remarkably, the Vatican has pre-colonial Aztec codices, ancient Chinese scrolls, and illuminated Qurans and Islamic manuscripts captured from Muslim lands during the Crusades. These reflect non-European perspectives often ignored in Western history. As you can see, even the verified contents of the Vatican Secret Archives represent some of the most significant documents and artifacts in human history. Priceless records that offer rare glimpses of famous figures and major events sit alongside ancient treasures that reveal lost aspects of philosophy, art, and science. Will even more astounding secrets come to light in the future? For now, most of the archives remain tantalizingly out of our grasp, but perhaps not forever. Section 4. Recent Controversies and Increased Transparency. While the Vatican Secret Archives are still closed to most outsiders, public pressure and some extraordinary circumstances in recent decades have led the Church to open up parts of the archives and reveal more details about what's inside. However, controversies continue to emerge surrounding what remains restricted. Here are some key events that highlight the ongoing debate over the archive's contents. Limited opening by Pope Leo XIII in 1881. Starting in 1881 under Pope Leo XIII, the Vatican archives were opened on a limited basis to credentialed Catholic scholars researching pre-1571 manuscripts and books. This was the first time any outsiders were allowed access. However, many more recent documents remain off-limits. Publication of the Vatican's wartime records in 2004. After years of public pressure, particularly from Jewish groups, the Vatican published selected documents from their World War II archives detailing the Church's knowledge of and response to the Holocaust. Controversially, the 4-volume work left out any documents relating to Pope Pius XII's wartime conduct, fueling accusations of a church cover-up. Vatican Secret Archives exposed in 2007. Journalist Paul Williams managed to smuggle out photos from inside the secret archives showing shelved documents and ritually bent iron keys used to access deeper vaults. This brief glimpse inside whetted public appetite for the archive's secrets. However, Williams faced no consequences from the Church. Opening of the Pius XII archives in 2020. In 2019, Pope Francis announced that records relating to Pius XII's 1939-1958 papacy would be opened in 2020. This followed renewed pressure regarding Pius' silence on the Holocaust. While an important transparency effort, it's estimated these documents represent just 1% of the total secret archives. Request to see wartime records on Ustasha regime. In 2018, Croatian leaders officially asked the Vatican to open records relating to its World War II knowledge of the Ustasha regime's genocidal killings, which predominantly targeted Serbs, Jews, and Roma peoples. The Church has faced criticism for not previously condemning the nationalist regime's atrocities. Lawsuit over secrets relating to stolen children in Spain. A Spanish organization sued in 2011 demanding the Vatican open records that could shed light on up to 300,000 stolen children in Spain, whose parents were told they died during Franco's rule only to be illegally adopted out to other families. The Vatican rejected the suit. Call to release documents on sexual abuse cover-ups. Victims of church sexual abuse have long called for the Vatican to open records that detail the covering up of such crimes by clergy and the secret transferring of offenders. Increased access could help reveal still hidden cases of abuse worldwide. As you can see, public pressure has slowly forced the Vatican to open certain sections of their secret archives after centuries spent hidden away from outside eyes. However, the vast majority of documents remain stubbornly obscured. The Church faces ongoing controversies and accusations of secrecy relating to Holocaust conduct, genocidal regimes, stolen children, abuse cover-ups, and more, most stemming from actions or knowledge they refuse to reveal through greater transparency with the archives. Will future popes slowly pull back more of the veil on the Vatican's hidden history against its instinct for secrecy? We'll have to wait and see. Well, there you have it, everything we know and can reasonably guess about the legendary Vatican Secret Archives, from verified facts to unconfirmed theories. We explored the origins of the archives, took a tour through the most incredible rumors about what they contain, saw an overview of their known contents, and discussed recent controversies over opening their secrets. While access remains extremely limited, every year we learn a little bit more about this almost mythical institution. Some of history's greatest mysteries and scandals may still lie hidden within its vast underground shelves. But with enough public pressure and the right timing, even the most confidential documents tend to see the light of day eventually. The Vatican's secret archives represent a supreme challenge between humanity's search for truth and powerful institutions trying to preserve their image. But I have hope that we will all understand a little bit more about our history and each other when those vault doors are finally thrown open for good. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments, and I'll see you next time.